A question many people ask is, how much does it cost to use Amazon EC2? Well, to make things a little easier, Amazon EC2 offers several purchasing models, including on-demand, spot instances, savings plans, and reserved or dedicated capacity instances. Let's take a look at what this is all about, as it is essential that you understand it very well before implementing this compute service. Then, with respect to on-demand instances, as the name suggests, it allows you to pay for computing capacity by the hour or second with no long-term commitments. Thanks to this, you won't have to worry about the costs and complexities of planning, purchasing, and maintaining equipment. For example, suppose you are a freelance developer and have been hired for a short-term web development project. Instead of investing in your own hardware, you could use Amazon EC2 and opt for a pay-as-you-go model. This way, you would only pay for the resources you use and for the duration of the project. Once the project is complete, you can terminate or delete EC2 instances, thus avoiding unnecessary costs. This pricing model is especially useful for temporary, short-term projects or where you do not have a clear idea of the amount of resources and time you will spend on your projects. Amazon EC2 spot instances allow you to leverage unused compute capacity in the AWS cloud at a discounted price of up to 90% compared to on-demand pricing. For example, imagine you are running a complex data simulation that requires a large amount of compute resources, but doesn't need to be running continuously. You could use spot instances to run this simulation during off-peak hours. That is, when there is more capacity available and prices are lower. When capacity demand is high and prices go up, your spot instances automatically stop. In this way, spot instances offer you a cost-effective option if you have flexibility as to when your applications need to run and can withstand outages. With respect to the savings plans pricing model, here you can reduce your bill by up to 72% compared to on-demand pricing in exchange for a commitment to consistent usage over a 1 or 3 year term. So, here you only have to commit to constant usage, measured in dollars per hour. And for a better understanding, we should talk about the 3 types of savings plans offered by AWS. First, you have the compute saving plans. This type offers the most flexibility and helps reduce costs by up to 66% of your bill. For example, if your business runs Amazon EC2 constantly, but usage varies by time of day, day of the week, or time of year, compute savings plans can be useful. You commit to a specific EC2 usage for 1 to 3 years and get lower prices. This plan applies to any EC2 instance usage, allowing you to change instance families, availability zones, regions, operating systems, or leases without affecting your savings. Then you have the EC2 instance saving plans. So, unlike compute saving plans, this pricing model provides the lowest prices, but requires a commitment to use specific instance families in a region. This means that you can switch usage between instances within a family in that region, but not between different instance families or regions as you can with compute saving plans. These 2 pricing models are much lower compared to the on-demand pricing model. So, if you have a specific EC2 configuration, for example, 4 vCPU and 8 GB of RAM in a specific region and you plan to run it for a year, both compute savings plans and the EC2 instance savings plans can offer you significant savings compared to on-demand pricing. And finally, we have Amazon SageMaker savings plans. Basically, you have to also commit to consistent usage for a 1 or 3 year term, and this type of pricing plan is for machine learning workloads. Amazon SageMaker is a machine learning service offered by AWS. So if you are using SageMaker to train machine learning models on an ongoing basis, SageMaker savings plans can help you reduce costs. And finally, we have reserved or dedicated capacity, which includes capacity on-demand reservations. So, Amazon EC2 capacity on-demand reservations allow you to reserve compute capacity for your EC2 instances in a specific availability zone for any duration. This is useful when you have strict capacity requirements and are running critical workloads that require a certain level of capacity guarantee. For example, if you are running a critical web service that must be available 24/7 and you cannot tolerate outages due to lack of EC2 capacity, you could use capacity reservations on demand to ensure that you will always have the capacity you need. On the other hand, we have Amazon EC2 capacity blocks for machine learning that allow you to reserve GPU instances in an Amazon EC2 Ultra cluster for a future date for as long as you need to run your machine learning workloads. For example, if you're planning to run a GPU-intensive machine learning experiment that will last a week and you know you'll need it a month from now, you could use EC2 capacity blocks for ML to reserve the GPU instances needed for that period. And finally, we have pricing for dedicated hosts. Dedicated host pricing varies based on the family, region, and payment option for each instance. Regardless of the number or size of instances you choose to launch on a particular dedicated host, you only pay for each dedicated host that is active. A dedicated host is a physical EC2 server that is fully dedicated for your use. Dedicated hosts can help you reduce costs because they allow you to use your existing server-bound software licenses. So when you assign a dedicated host to use, you choose an instance family, such as R5 or M5 for the host. And once you've assigned a host, you pay the on-demand rate, unless you have a dedicated host reservation or savings plans which we've talked about before. So, I hope this information is clear, and I'll see you next time.